Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys. I'm sure you guys are prepping for the weekend. I'm actually working from home today, so I'm downstairs in my office. So if I sound a little echoey, if that's a word, if I sound a little echoey, I ask for your forgiveness in advance. So, guys, I wanted to touch on this topic. I received the email a few days ago, and I randomly pulled this email, and it's in regards to being a people pleaser. And I'm sure there are so many of you who can relate. Definitely, my hands are raised. And so, I wanted to elaborate a little more on this topic since, I kind of went into a deep conversation with this person. And basically, you know what, guys? As far as being a people pleaser, that can stem from so many different seeds, you know. It can stem from that seed of abandonment. You were abandoned for whatever reason. Maybe you were given up by your parents. Maybe someone.
GPS signal lost.
You know what? I don't know what's up with this. I'm in my basement, so I figured it would be, but I never knew the GPS was even on. Sorry, guys. So, yeah. So if someone have left you, let it be in a relationship or abandoned you in a marriage, left you for someone else, or maybe you are someone like me who was always misunderstood because I was chosen, and it's almost like, everybody hates you or they dislike you, and it's really not about you. It's just about the favor on your life. So all these different, and you're chosen. You're the chosen one, right? That's why you're here. So as a chosen one, most times you are misunderstood. Most times you are dealing with a lot of people who are jealous and resenting you and all this other stuff because they can't understand you, right? So at the end of the day, what happens is when that seed is planted, then as you grow on and grow up and all that stuff, before you know it, you don't even realize that you have become a people pleaser. And really, when you tap back into it, it's because you weren't accepted or you were rejected. And so to trying to avoid feeling that hurt, that pain, that sense of abandonment again, it's almost like, well, let me overcompensate and do everything for everyone just so I can be sure that they never reject me again, or they never abandon me again, right? Or they're never jealous of me again. So if I do all these things, they would have to accept me. They would have to like me. And truth of the matter is the complete opposite, because it was never about you. See, they see that light, right? They see the favor. You maybe then couldn't have articulate what that light is. You just couldn't understand why they disliked you, why they abandoned you. But it was never about you. So that's the past. Fast forward, right? You're now dealing with a seed of people pleasing. Let me tell you something. One thing I've learned. As long as you give, they're going to take. And they're going to keep taking and keep taking and keep taking, right? And that could mean in whatever areas. That could mean financially. That could be emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever. Mind you, if you're a people pleaser, there's a good chance that your cup is already not even half full, right? You're definitely not operating from a full cup when you're a people pleaser, because as a people pleaser, you put everybody else first. You really put yourself last, right? That can be your children, that can be your spouse, that can be your friends, that can be your purpose and your calling, your job, your career. You put everything above yourself. You're walking around with the same sewing for 2 years, right? Like you got everybody else is taken care of. And you toot your horn because you're so good at taking care and pleasing people. But what about you? And sadly, the great majority of those people who you are pleasing won't even do the same for you. This is why when you're down and out and you just need someone, let it be someone just to listen to you, to whatever, you can't find these people. You can't find these people. So at some point, right, you got to get yourself to a place, and it's about being intentional. I think again, some areas we will probably always have like that struggle in that area because it's like our default setting. But as long as we stay connected and we stay intentional and mindful, even when you're doing it, you have to catch yourself. Like this morning, I had to be intentional. I woke up and I had all these messages about I need this, can you do this? And before I know it, I found myself like in my zush just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, no, stop. You haven't done anything for yourself yet this morning, right? Yet you're waking up to emails and you're waking up to this and what this person needs and that. No. No, right? My default setting is to just do it. But I had to catch myself. And even though I still wanted to do it, because as a people pleaser, we get like all warm and fuzzy feelings when we can help someone, right? But is it healthy? Now, it's healthy if you're pouring from a full cup. So I will still address these emails. I will still respond to these text messages. I still will do all those things, right? But I'm going to do me first. I'm going to do me first, and I'll get back to that. And so what happens is when you do that, the more and more you do it, right? Again, we'll always have to be probably intentional, but the more and more you do that, you'll get more comfortable with it, especially when you feel like, wow, so I don't even have anxiety going on, right? I don't even feel like I'm all over the place, right? I now feel like these people will find a way and figure it out until I get back to them, right? And guess what? Most times they will. We handicap people. We think they can't do this and we think we're the only one. No, that's us. That's us in these people pleaser seats. People will always find a way. And if you're worried about if you stop doing something for someone or you're not like putting them first and you're worried about, oh, what if I don't? They're going to leave me. Hey, listen. Listen. If they leave you, let them go. It was never, ever meant to be. Because anyone who truly cares for you, they will realize, like, wait a minute, you're overworking yourself. Like, slow down. Like let these people figure it out for them. Like, that's what someone who really cares about you will tell you. And if I'm honest, when you start putting yourself first and when you start, working on this people-pleasing spirit, you're going to lose a lot of people because half of these people were only there for you because you could always solve their problems for whatever reason, right? And again, it's in different things. Like, for example, I had a friend many years ago. Oh, my goodness. And sometimes you don't even realize how toxic someone is or how heavy someone's spirit is until you break away from them. So it's like, she wasn't even a friend. She was an associate. But every time she called, it was bad news. Every time she called, it was the same drama about her baby daddy and he not coming home and she knows about this other woman. And so here I'm up 1 o'clock in the morning, waking up to give her advice, to fool her up, to say, listen, X, Y, and Z, right? And the next day, she's right back with them. 3 days later, she's called me with the same nonsense. And I'm like a fool for weeks and weeks and months and even years, if I'm honest, taking my time, right? Never allow anybody to disrespect your time. I'm finally there. You're not going to disrespect my time because I can't get that back, right? So finally, I got to the point. I was like, you know what? So I'm going to stop answering these phone calls at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll return her call whenever I can, right? I'm going to cut the conversation short. I'm not going to waste my time, my energy, telling you things, and you're doing the complete opposite. So guess what? I have no more advice. So I'm going to listen to you because most times people think they want your opinion, but they really just want somebody to pour that nonsense and toxic energy on. So I would listen and then she would say, oh, well, you don't have anything to say. Nope. I've told you everything. And do you know, eventually, slowly but surely, I stopped hearing from her and I stopped hearing from her. And years later, I don't know where she is. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. Like, I'm almost mad with myself that I even allowed all that stuff to go on. So guys, stop allowing people to pull at you if your cup is not already full. Even if your cup is full, be intentional about who you're helping, because everybody doesn't want help. They say they do, but everybody really doesn't want help. Connect to your source so you can be sure that you're helping the people who God wants you to help, because then it's not draining. It's only draining when we're moving in our own flesh. We don't have the grace to cover us. So that's why we're tired. That's why we're drained, right? Tap back into the reason and figure out why you are a people pleaser. Were you the one who had 11 siblings, but your mother or your father was on drugs, and so they would go for days at a time, and you were the responsible child who had to go and make sure all your siblings had something to eat and got off to school, right? So all that stuff is our default setting. So we got to figure out why am I putting myself last? But I'll tell you this, it's going to take work, but when you start being intentional about putting yourself first and you realize how potent that glow up is, I'm telling you guys, like you wouldn't even want to deal with people. It's almost like, listen, send me to the moon with some animals and some giraffes, and I just want this peace. I just want this peace, honey. Peace, peace, peace. So I just wanted to share that. I hope that helps some of you guys. Again, tap into the why. Why are you a people pleaser? What happened in your past that has allowed you to become a people pleaser? Realize that you can't keep pouring from an empty cup. You're going to run yourself crazy. You're going to run yourself crazy. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. Work on filling your cup back up by keeping yourself first, and everyone else will get the spill, the leftovers from your full cup. So I hope this helps someone. You guys have a great weekend. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.